Hello everyone, it's been a while. I would have uploaded a Blender video on the 20th of March, but I decided to scrap it because it wasn't as good as what I envisioned. I haven't made a lot of progress in Terraria modding, but I have enough to make a short video on. I'm planning on making a big update which I hope to release by the summer, which features several new weapons and accessories, and a few enemies. This video will focus on a few of the new weapons I created, mostly boomerangs. With that being said, let's begin. The first weapon I made was an experimental weapon to see how boomerang AI works. The boomerang, which can be crafted from spirit remnant from catching these roaming spirits, has the same AI as a wooden boomerang and uses this explosion effect on hit, which I also used in my first video on my mod with the star crystal accessory. It's super simple right now, so I might consider revamping it in the future when I have a better idea of what I should do. Next up is the Shadow Flammering, a drop from this annoying teleporting dude from the Goblin army. When you miss a boomerang throw, or if the boomerang is too far, homing skulls begin spawning, which deals extra damage. Direct hits with the boomerang inflict Shadow Flame. After that, we have the Epidemic. I planned on making this a craftable weapon from a material dropped by these crackhead slimes I mentioned in my first video. You can throw 2 of these instead of 1 at a time, and they leave behind a blob which drops on its own after time, or you can manually drop all of them by pressing right click. You can end up timing it or guiding a boss into these blobs to deal extra damage. Next is the Meteor Ring, a boomerang crafted using meteorite bars. Direct hits with the boomerang will cause meteor fragments to drop from the sky and deals a lot of extra damage. You can also throw 2 of these instead of 1, so you can spam these boomerangs so it's less punishing if you miss one. And finally for the boomerangs, the last one is the cool disc. I didn't use the boomerang AI for this one. Instead, I created my own projectile that mimics the boomerang AI by being thrown linearly and returning. What is unique about this weapon is that it fires lasers after returning to the player if it hits an enemy before returning, dealing extra damage. Now onto non-boomerang weapons. In my last video, I showed the code I used to make this consumable weapon called Tungsten Cube. Like an alternative to shurikens, it is a ranged weapon that deals a good amount of damage and has a higher crit chance, but suffers from a lack of range. I also made a mage weapon based on this called the Tungsten Obliterator, which throws the tungsten further. There's also a right click ability which drops this pillar that does damage and boosts mana regen when the player is close enough in range. I also have one new accessory, the Ring of Frustration. This accessory provides a damage buff for 7 seconds after drinking a healing potion. I'm planning on making a bunch of upgrades to this accessory accessible later in the game. Now that I went through the content for this video, there are some matters to discuss. This new update will make a lot of unfinished content look more fleshed out. My goal for this update is to provide some amount of content between the start of the game until pre-Skeletron. I won't be working on this mod after this video, but rather I'm going to be working on a side project, which basically will be me making a custom Terraria class and doing a playthrough of it. Anyways, that's all. Please be on the lookout for additional updates on my channel or in my community post section. I also have a special video coming out in mid-April, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.